right, it's 8:09, and saw this technique. Lewis, he said he found it off the internet, so I'm gonna give it a go this time. Seems like a pretty good way to heat up your pit a little bit faster. Anyway, I'll be back in 20 minutes and we'll get this thing going. All right, it's been 20 minutes. Look at that. Okay, that's just with the charcoal in there. So let's go ahead and put this guy where it goes. Look at that, nice and toasty. Ah, a little hot. Let's get the glove. Let's go. Look at that, nice and white. See if I can kind of not murder myself here. A little bit of ash in there. But yeah, it looks like it warmed up the inside just fine. I'm gonna let it run wide open for a little bit, but it was at 250. It's gone down to 150, but the damage is done. The steel's hot inside, so it should recover real quick. And all right, I'll be back. What's going on, everybody? This is Will. Running around getting the pit going and all that kind of stuff, and I'm about ready to get my meat on. So I have got a RibFest going today. I'm going to be doing the first full cook on my insulated vertical cabinet, the IVS, from Lone Star Grillz. So what I've got here is, well, I've told you guys I've been on a kick to try to source local meat. This is a Wagyu plate rib, short rib, dino ribs. So those are going on. He had some. They're a beef outfit, so he had some spare ribs. So I grabbed a couple racks of those. And here, yeah, he actually had some back ribs too. But I'm like, that's a lot of ribs. So I did pick up the back ribs. It actually looks real nice. And I've got some just Wagyu beef fat. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to put this guy on here first. I've got to do some running around. So I'm going to put it in the IVS and just let it sit there and do its thing while I do the things that I need to do today. Got to go to brunch with some neighbors. It's really important stuff. But I've got some family coming over tomorrow. Tomorrow's my birthday. So of course I'm going to cook for everybody. I'm not letting them cook. But let's get started. Anyway, so let's throw this over here for a second. One thing about ribs is I just went to Louisiana last week, and that's why I didn't do a video, and took a competition barbecue class with Johnny Trigg. That guy's the king of ribs. Anyway, he made me buy this. This is not a special knife at all, but I see people use them. This thing's like 120 bucks. I'm not trying to sell them or anything, but it actually seems to work pretty well. This knife that I just have in the, the little butcher block thing. Actually, we'll see. These ribs, I'm planning on going super traditional. I'm just gonna put some pepper on, and then I'm gonna put on the meat side, and then I'm gonna go with some SPG all around. So a little bit heavy pepper, just to see what we can do about some bark. I'm not planning on wrapping, but I am planning on mopping. So that's where the beef towel comes in. Pepper. All right, so we got this going. Let's just set this over here for a second. Some pretty good marbling in here, if you can see that. You can see they're already trimmed. The local folks are a little bit more expensive per pound, but look, I mean, they're all trimmed up. Anyway, I'm just gonna cut the corner here a little bit. What the hell? There's some fat in there. That's good. That looks good. Okay, so I'm going to add some pepper. This is fresh cracked. I was experimenting with my other pepper, and I added some salt in there, and it's really salty. And yeah, don't do that. Gotta go Jerby style, way up here. The SVG's obviously got pepper in there. I just want a little bit more just because this is a big piece of beef. The pepper's gonna, you know, kind of get eaten up by the smoker, turn into bark and all that kind of stuff. Cool. So, heavy pepper it is. Let me grab my towel. So, just kind of pat this in here a little bit. Looks like it's on there pretty good. No binder really necessary. Kind of wondering if I should have now because I'm going to put 2 layers, but we'll see how it goes. All right, SPG. It's a brand new bottle. Come on. Cool. All right, let's start with the other side. Not really going to put a bunch down here. Going to keep the membrane on. Jerby says to do an X. He's the guy right now, so listen to him. Get the sides. So as soon as I've got pepper on here, I'm just going to pat it down a little bit. Just to make sure it sits on there. Maybe I should have used some Worcestershire, but we'll live. All right, cool. Let this guy sit here for a minute. Next up, let's grab this tallow and see what it looks like. Well, it's not tallow yet, but yeah, this is just a bunch of Wagyu fat. Put it in the fridge. My wife said it looks like a brain, but yeah. Cool, that's probably pretty good there. We'll see how this renders down. And I'm gonna put the rest back in the freezer. And we'll do that again next time if we need to. All right, so I haven't even really taken a look at these. They're a little thin. But we'll see how they go. Yeah, he said he's never gonna carry spare ribs again. All right, they're actually looking pretty good. Looks like what happens here. So we've got the flap here. Let's go ahead and cut that guy off. That's actually some pretty good meat right there. So I've got a grinder coming, so we'll use that. A little fatty in here, not too bad. That'll render down. This is good. Kind of a spare rib, but he's got like a spare rib would. Anyway, this is real floppy right here, so I'm just gonna cut this off. I think that's just gonna burn. And a little bit here. And we're looking pretty good. A little bit of fat in here. I guess I'm not real worried about that. Okay, let's grab the other one. Always spill your ribs. You never know when you're gonna get a nice surprise. Easy's trying to dance with me over here. All right, so let's put this over here. We got our extra meat over here. So, what do we got here? We've got some of the going in here. These are a little bit different than I'm used to seeing at HEB. These are real thin, but I don't want to cut too much off. This one has this removed. There's no membrane, so we don't have to worry about that. This is a little thin right here, but they're all a little thin. I'm gonna leave this on. What the hell? Actually, everything's about the same width. Maybe a little bit over here. Huh. Looking good. I'm back. Pit's actually up to temp. Okay. A little bit of Liam Perrons as a binder. I'm going to go with a little bit of SPG. And I'm going to use some Valentina's red rub. Stuff's pretty good with the color. The ribs are supposed to be a nice mahogany. So let's just put some on. Very good. And I think we're done here. I'm going to put these beef ribs on. They're going to take much longer. So I'm just going to pop these guys into the fridge, let them sit, take a little nap, and I'll be back. Hey there, guys. So we're outside. It's 9:06. Remember, I started this whole project of heating up the cabinet at 8:06, and I put the chimney inside as a new technique to try to get it up to speed faster. So it's been exactly 1 hour, and look at this. We're at 225. I've shut down the top. I've closed water, and we're looking pretty good right there. Okay, so I've got these beef ribs, and they're going on. Hold on. All right. Cool, the beef ribs are on. I need to get the tallow. All right, so here's our beef fat. It's going in too. All right, so it's about 10 after 9. All said and told, we're at 225. We'll see where we go from here. I think I'm gonna go mess with the Fireboard since I'm leaving. That might be, I've got a signals, but I do have the Fireboard, and it's supposed to fit on this thing pretty good, so maybe I'll screw with that. We'll see. All right, so I set up this Fireboard. I've got to leave here in a minute. So I set the Fireboard. Well, first off, it was stupid simple to set up. This Lone Star Grillz sends this. This just connects to it. Plug it into the Fireboard, plug the probe in, and download the Fireboard app and go. So I set the Fireboard to, doesn't show there, does it? To 250. So I left the Fireboard baffle all the way open, and I'm keeping this to where it should hold about 250. So it was at about 225. You can kind of see here. Can you? You can see here. Anyway, I set it for 250. That says 247.5. This is showing right about the same. So we're looking good. I tested the internet connectivity, so I can view all this from my phone while I'm out having brunch. And my beef ribs are just going to town. Wow. All right, cool. I'll be back. All right, we're 4 hours into this thing, and I went out to brunch. We went to HEB, we went to the Triple S feed store, we went to Home Depot. So we're a little over 4 hours. I wanted to get in here at 4, but I set the Fireboard for 250. Let's see how it's doing. Boom. It's right on 250. So I've been there we go. I've been watching the on the app, because you can do that on the internet, and here's what it looks like. It's at 251.9 right now. I can't get my oven to hold a stable temperature like this. Anyway, let's take a quick peek at what's going on inside here. Say hi. Hi. Oh, look at that. Wow, we got some nice pullback going. So the tallow is looking good over there. Ooh-wee. That bottom pan, there's a lot of drippage going in there. Let me baste these. I'll be right back. I need to grab my little brush. Right, so I got my little brush. I'm gonna need a glove in here. So let's take a quick look at this. Look at that tallow. Ooh-wee. All right. Oh, that's rendering real nice. Oh, pillowy. That's pretty good. Okay, now we're gonna try to learn this trick from Jerby, from Goldie's Barbecue. He's got an excellent channel. Just kind of get this tallow all over. Wagyu tallow, Wagyu short ribs. Oh my God, I can't stand it. Oh, that's looking really good. I am going to look at that. Oh, that is beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna set this back over here. I'm gonna push this over just a little. What do I want to do here? Let's move this over a little bit. Oh my goodness, it's like tearing. Okay, so I have also got this glove is hilarious. It's one of these magnet gloves. I'm gonna put my spare ribs on. So I got 4 hours until I've got to start thinking about doing something else. So I'm gonna set these guys up here. I'm just gonna set you all down for a second. I'm gonna go. I'm actually going to set a probe inside of this These beef ribs, they're looking nice. All right, so we're coming back up to temp now. What I want to do, ooh, channel 2 says 191.6, so that's actually almost done. That was a really fast cook. That was 4 hours. Usually I was putting aside, they're not huge, I was putting aside up to 8. So I'm not gonna wrap these. I'm gonna probably come out here every half hour and just baste them in that tallow until they hit probably about 198. Yeah, and then I'll just let them sit, and then we'll deal with the spare ribs. Those are some thin spare ribs. I don't see those guys taking more than 3 hours. I'm gonna let them sit 2 hours, and then I'll come look at them. I'll kind of keep a view on them while I'm, you know, messing with the beef ribs, because those are about 8-7 degrees from being done. Okay, cool. All right, so the beef ribs have reached an internal temperature of 198, so I'm gonna probe them just to see how they feel. I'm pretty sure these are about to come off. Let's do it. Look at that. Spare ribs are starting to get some color. Look at that. Oh goodness. Got my, see how we're looking here. Oh, look at that. 198. There's no resistance. These things are, ooh, a little bit warm there. Didn't want to quite get that hot there. Anyway, I'm gonna bring them inside. I'll see you folks in a moment. All right, we made it inside. Look at that. That looks fabulous. You saw I was probing real tender. Lots of pull back there. So I'm gonna let it sit in the counter here for a little bit. I just put some tallow on it. That's what I'm using as a mop. Just straight tallow. So I'm gonna let it come down to about 180, and then it's gonna go sit in the oven for a while and rest. I'm not serving this till tomorrow, so we'll see what it looks like in the morning. That is pretty. Okay, cool. All right, update on the ribs. These guys are coming out looking real good. That's a good color. They're a little thin, so they're cooking faster than I'd like, and they're not as tender as I'd like right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap these guys. A little bit of brown sugar, butter, apple cider vinegar, and that's it. I'll wrap these guys and put them on. More to come. And I just pulled these guys off. Looking good. A couple shiners there. They're really thin rack. They actually cook pretty quick, about 4 hours. 2 hours straight. One in the wrap, and probably about, I don't know, 45 minutes again after. I didn't sauce them or anything, but they're looking mighty fine. Look at that. I'm gonna temp these, and I'm gonna hold them overnight for a party tomorrow, and I'll start cutting them up tomorrow morning. All right. All right, everybody. It's the next day. Welcome. Cooked everything. Brought the spare ribs out, let them cool down, and put those guys in the refrigerator. The beef ribs, I put them in the oven at 170 for probably about 5 or 6 hours. Kept them in the oven overnight, and then I've got it on at 200 right now to, you know, everything's warmed back up. It's my birthday today. Happy birthday to me. So that's why I'm cooking everything today. Oh man. So got some family coming over. These are gonna go on after this. But anyway, I didn't try any of this stuff yet, so let's see what it looks like. All right, so this is the first cook of the IVS. Beef ribs are not the easiest thing in the world to cook, but let's see how we did. Let's pull this bad boy off. And it's Mom. Hey there. Hey, hey. Okay. All right. Okay, we'll see you in a few. Love you. Okay. Bye. They're on the road. And apparently they're here. This is looking pretty good. So just to show you what it's looking like, there's like no resistance. Showing 139. No resistance at all. Cool. Make sure let's put this here. All right, so we've got everything's kind of coming this way. So if I go straight down, I'm going to have a really small one, a good one, and then a really big one. So I'm going to come over from the side. Oh my God. Can you see that? Oh, that is so juicy. Oh, look at that. Wow, that is amazing. So the IVS is known for not giving smoke rings. Also, I had fat on both sides, so I'm not really expecting a smoke ring just because that's not a characteristic of the IVS. And there's a fair amount of fat. Probably had a little bit too much fat on the end here, but that's all right. Really crunchy bark. So this one slid off the bone a little bit. Let's give it a try. There's fat right there. Pretty fatty right there. Let's get a piece that's not fatty. Pulled it off at 198, so I didn't overdo it. Looks like it might be a little bit overdone already. That's pretty good.
What is that?
This is the beef rib. You want to try a piece?
No fat.
A little bit overdone. There's a lot of fat in there.
Okay.
Good?
Mm-hmm.
You want to try the bark?
Huh?
Want to try the bark? The outside?
Mm-hmm. Looks like fat.
It's Wagyu, so there's a bunch of fat inside of it.
Which is better?
Tastes better, like the bark. All right, so came out looking great. Well, tasting great.
Oh, good.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
My wife doesn't really like beef stuff, so that's actually a pretty good compliment. But anyway, yeah, we've got a couple of dino ribs. The middle one seems to be falling apart, but the outside ones seem to be doing okay. Cool. Let's see how these spare ribs fared. So I had one large rack and one smaller rack. Both really thin. Not sure what to expect here. Looking pretty good right there. Good color. Alright, so these are pretty thin this way and this way. Interestingly, I do have a pretty good smoke ring on the ribs, on the spare ribs. Look at that, it's almost all the way through.
It's a bad one. It's a bad one.
Alright, so they look pretty good smoke ring. You can see they're, you know, glistening, so they've got plenty of moisture. So let's take a bite. Nice. They're not quite as tender as I might like. I intentionally didn't overdo them just because they're really thin, and I didn't want to do what happened to that middle beef rib. Pretty good though. This is with the SPG and the Valentina's all-purpose rub. All right. Oh, I'm going to call this a success. The beef ribs came out good, a little overdone. The outside ribs seem to be okay. The middle one is kind of falling apart. And the ribs are a little small, but that's nothing to do with the cook. That's just the way they are. And I'm gonna fire up the offset and put these potatoes and corn on here. I don't think you guys care much about that. Thanks for watching, and we'll do it again next week. Take care. How's it going, everybody? It's a couple days later. I'm editing this video. Notice there's a couple of things I should say about this. First off, I put 10 pounds of lump into the IVS, and you saw I started up around 8 a.m. With the chimney in there. It was up to 225 at about 9 a.m. So it took about an hour to get up to speed. Using the chimney in there was a real good idea. Brought it up to speed. I was ready to put meat on it in an hour at 225. So I did put the Fireboard in there. It went up to 250. And then it just sat there for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And I'm looking at the session details here and on the Fireboard. So if I started at 9 a.m., it stayed at, you know, in the 250 range till about 1 a.m. So that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, plus 12, 16 hours at 250. It didn't get below 200 until 3 a.m., 2 hours later after that. So that's, oh my God. And then, you know, it kind of slowly declined after that. That was it trying to do its best. And, you know, that's the cabinet holding temperature. So whatever, but you know, we're at 200 up until about 3 a.m. That's insane. I mean, that was off 10 pounds of lump. And you know, a little bit of about four chunks of pecan wood. Anyway, just thought I'd throw that out there. I know when I was looking at the IVS, I wanted those numbers, so it's only right that I give those numbers anyway, back. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Sorry, I'm a couple days late on editing this. It's we had some storms and there was a birthday involved and some other stuff happened around here. But anyway, I'll go ahead and put it into this. Figure if if you're gonna sit through my crappy videos, I might as well make them as painless as possible and short. All right, take care and have a good day. Bye.